I'm Sylvester Jackson Karara. I'm the president of UKC. UKC is a youth cooperative in Rwanda that produces and cultivates animal feed using soilless technology called hydroponic fodder.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for joining us today, Jackson. So welcome everyone to the third episode of DreamBig Radio, and today we've got a really good one. So I was introduced to Jackson from our previous guest, Irene Matazarana, the founder and CEO of Farmgenics. Jackson's company, UKC and Farmgenics, are in the same accelerator at Norskin together, and I believe that is how they came to know each other. Anyway, after Irene told me about UKC and Jackson, I looked at their LinkedIn, their website. They seem to be doing some really, really interesting stuff. And I thought they were the perfect next guest to have on this series. So today we're just going to get into what UKC does. You got a brief overview of what Jackson does at UKC. And we'll really get into the problem, the solution, the team behind it, and why he is really driven to do this. So in a short 30-second burst, what is your big idea, Jackson?
Thank you so much. The problem lies with malnutrition, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. And we saw that there's a potential of solving the problem of malnutrition by access to animal source foods. And that's why we thought of helping farmers who are in livestock sector get accessible feeds, because 70% of the animal production relies on feed. So we want to reduce the cost of feeding, which will ultimately lead to high production of animal products, the meat, the milk, the eggs, and so forth. And we saw the climate resiliency is through the use of technologies. And that's why we thought of incorporating technology, hydroponics.
Okay, that's really interesting. And so is animal agriculture, it's a big part in Rwanda, correct?
Sure.
Yes, we were there. It's with every meal you had some inyama. Some
yeah.
So yeah. So I would just like to know, what is your personal experience of this problem? How did you come to experience it and decide you were going to try and solve it?
We really appreciate the government of Rwanda by introducing a program called One Cow Per Family. And this is the underprivileged or people below the poverty lines are given a cow. A cow is a cultural asset. It's also a commercial asset. The government gave them to enable them to produce milk for their home use and surplus for sale, to get the animal manure and so forth. And also cultural exchange, which is a unique value in Rwanda. So the government program was facing some difficulty with farmers, smallholder farmers who don't have enough land for cultivation of crop food and animal keeping. So we wanted to come in and bring a solution towards animal keeping so that they can proceed with their zero grazing or the keeping of animals in stores, while the rest of the land is used for crop production. So the idea came in to complement the government efforts of making families get animals for commercial purposes. But then we provide them a solution on feeding. Then the rest of the land can be produced for food crops, so that there's that mingling of the two synergies to create solutions for the farmers.
So you have created a solution that is affordable, not just for big animal farms, but for the individual families that have one cow or maybe just two cows, correct?
Sure. We started handling those ones with small animals, less than 10 cows per family. Actually, the government program of 1 cow per family came in as a good subsidy from our side. So we started working with them, and we are now at a good level of working also with farmers who have big farms. And these ones are the ones who keep for commercial purposes, for large-scale milk production and meat. So our business model is shifting systematically from the smallholder to big farmers. All these chains are catered for.
Okay, that's really interesting. Because smallholder farmers, that area is particularly a very difficult customer to make a product for just because of the lack of resources. So since you've been able to create a product that is affordable and creates an actual valuable return for this particular customer segment, that's really, really interesting. So what is the, when a farmer uses your fodder system, what are the main benefits they see?
Oh, great. I think we have a lot of testimonies right now, and because of these testimonies, farmers are giving references and testimonies to their neighbors, and that's why we are improving and scaling our production to as many farmers as possible. With the increase of milk, it has made farmers adopt the hydroponic feeding, because they are able to produce milk for their home use and surplus for sale. Unfortunately, the surplus for sale is able even to cater for the feed. So you see, farmers have been able to save the feeding costs from what they used to be purchasing from the high cost of commercial feeds in the market. Secondly, those who have been going in the roadsides and in the swamps to cut and feed grass, those which are not very nutritious, now they have realized that animal keeping is also a business, because they are able to generate more. And commercial feeding or improved feeding is able to give them ultimate goal. We have pig farmers who also, within 3 months, record high weight increase, up to 30% weight increase, because the fodder is good for fattening. And we also have poultry farmers who have been regularly seeing egg laying from their hens, and this is because of improved feeding, which is very nutritious, and it has even cut their feeding cost. You can imagine a smallholder farmer saving $250 USD per month. Yeah.
Wow.
This is really marvelous.
Yeah.
And out of the small space now, they're increasing the number of animals from 1 to 3 to 5. Others are getting to 8. It's because of the accessibility and affordability of our green feeds.
Wow. If anyone hasn't been to Africa, $250 per month is a massive amount of money. Jackson, could you give an idea of what an average monthly income would be for a smallholder farmer, just to highlight how much money that is?
Let me give you a good context of a cow farmer who is keeping fresh and breed. Averagely, revenue per month, let's say one cow is able to give around 700 USD.
You're adding on a third already.
Yes, that is a good average income of a farmer per month in Rwanda. And this is someone from the rural area. Those ones who are in urban cities fetch more than that, because there's high milk prices in the cities compared to rural areas. So farmers in the rural areas really experience this margin increase. And that's why there's more milk from the rural area coming to the cities. And it's enabling farmers to get more market to their produce and even get some more income.
That is really, really impressive. And just to touch on how farming is spread through Rwanda, people would be very surprised if they went to Kigali, because even though it's the capital city, there are still just farms all over the place. You have very built up areas, and then you look down a hill and there's just loads of farmland. It's really, really different. I've never seen anything like it, but it's a very, very cool thing to see. And so you said that farmers in the city are more productive than farmers in rural areas. Am I correct?
Farmers in rural areas are more productive than those ones in the cities.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. But farmers in the urban cities are now incorporating animal keeping as also as a way of life, because of previous deficit in the animal products in the market. That's why you find in the suburbs of Kigali, now farmers are having some stalls and keeping animals so that they can produce milk and sell, because of the booming markets.
That's, it's a great thing to see. And if anyone does go to Kigali, prepare yourself, because it's quite a vision. So the government really supports agriculture in Rwanda, and what you've been telling me has been so positive. I was just wondering, have you had a lot of support from the government? Have you been able to work with them?
Wow, very good question. The government has been merely supporting the best to the level of the youth and women. Let me talk to the youth because technology is what attracts them more. And some of these technologies have not been there before, like our technology, hydroponic feeding. So some of the equipments that we use in production of the fodder are outsourced, they are imported. And we are happy that there are policies which were put in place whereby these equipments are exempted from import duties by the Rwanda customs. So this is going to enable scalability of the production. Besides that, also there are some government institutions like Business Development Fund, it's called BDF. This supports youth projects and they give you a guarantee. So youth are able to access loans and they pay annually at 11%. So some of the youth who don't have capital can easily access capital from the government institutions. Besides that, also the government really motivates the market because farmers are organized in cooperatives, and it's very good to have a deal with farmers in a very huge chunk in cooperatives, and products are getting directly to the market from a very big population. So you see, those are some facilitation from the government that you can say even us we're part of the beneficiaries, and we are motivated to go along.
Interesting. And the farming cooperatives, are they one of your are they some of your big customers?
Come again?
The farming cooperatives. Are they some of your big customers?
Yes, sure. We have two chains of customers. We have customers that we sell our green fodder, and these are farmers in cooperatives and also individual farmers. Majority are in cooperatives because they have a higher purchasing power when you supply to them, and then at the end of it, all the cooperatives pays us. Very easy. Yep. And also giving trainings is becoming very easy because it's organized entity.
Yeah.
And then for others who sell to us raw materials are also farmers who are in cooperatives.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a win-win from farmer cooperatives. But in cities, we are moving to individual farmers.
Do the individual farmers in cities have a higher purchasing power?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. They have higher purchasing powers because in cities, there's not any other feeding solution apart from purchasing. So they purchase in bulk. They are very improved breeds in the cities. There are those who do commercial poultry farming, commercial bee farming, commercial pig farming, commercial rabbit farming. So these are individual farmers with very high purchasing powers compared to rural who are single farmers engaged in cooperative, but they have very few animals.
Okay.
Yes.
That's just in stark difference to what I've seen in Europe or North America. The large farms are usually very far away from the big cities. It seems to be a complete reversal in Rwanda and Kigali, which is it's just very interesting. So let's get more into the actual technology you use. Can you tell me more about hydroponics and the individual system that you use in your products?
Yeah, this technology actually, as I mentioned earlier, is soilless. It's a vertical method of cultivating animal feed without the use of soil.
Okay.
And it's done in a greenhouse setting. And I can give you our context now. We have a greenhouse of 20 meters length and 10 meters width and 2.5 meters high. And we are able to produce up to 40 tons per week.
Wow.
Something also unique about the technology, it is there is a recycling of water. Yeah, as of now, we are still using manual irrigation by use of the hose pipe, but we are moving forward to have an AI misting system of irrigation, which actually supplements water that is necessary for the plant. Any extra water is closed. So that is going to be the next phase. And this technology also, what I can say is that it has a short maturity. because, for example, poultry feed, we are able to produce in 4 days. Pig feed, goat feed, sheep feed, rabbit feed are able to produce in 6 days, and cow feed is able to produce in 7 days up to 10 days. So it's very short maturity, and we produce throughout all the seasons, whether in the dry spell or in the rainy season. We produce during the rainy seasons. We don't irrigate because our greenhouse has some pores. It's called the shade net, and water passes through the shade net, but it restricts other animals like birds and insects from getting into the greenhouse. So it's very climate resilient and controlled.
Wow. Yeah, one of the things that a lot of farmers said to us when we were in Rwanda was that the rain was becoming more unpredictable every year, and it was really affecting their production. So yes, your system has gotten around this really, really cleverly. Had you seen hydroponics before in Rwanda, or did you find it online? How did you come about designing this solution?
Yeah, actually, as we saw the problem persisting in the country because of lack of affordable feeds and also improved animal keeping policy by the government, the technology was not existing in Rwanda. I'm happy to say that we are the pioneers of the technology. One of our founding members was passing through the online internet and saw the technology existing in Kenya. And then we went ahead to have a field trip and observed, made a partnership, and then we come and solicited resources and started. And they came and trained us, and we kicked off like that. So all along it started like that. And I'm saying we started during the COVID time, but now we were linked in only one district, but now we're serving 7 districts. So you see, in a short time spell of that, 3 years, we are able to cover these districts. It was out through the internet.
Wow. Can you say how many customers you've grown to over the 3 years?
Yes. In our current database, we have around 564 farmers. And we are looking forward now to have more farmers that we think can even triple, because there's a new plant, milk processing plant, that needs 500,000 liters of milk per day. And that means more farmers need to come on board. So we look forward to having more farmers into this deal, and we might be tripling our numbers and do some extensions also.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And for this expansion, are you gonna be able to self-fund it, or is it from the government or a private investment?
Our extension, actually, if you look at the size of the supplies we're intending to do, it is very huge. So we have resources that we have generated from ourselves. We are also looking forward into government agency, as I mentioned earlier, of getting some loans. We also have other institutions that we are engaging who are providing venture capital. We are also looking forward into franchising. So every aspect will be based on specific needs, and the options of soliciting for resources will be based also on those needs.
Wow. The outlook looks great. Can I just ask, how much feed is required per cow? You said there's 4.5 tons you produce per week. So how much you need per cow?
I mentioned 40 tons, not 4.5. It's 40 tons per week.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is 40,000 kilos.
Okay, wow. And how much does one cow need?
Per cow? Let me take it into a general context. We feed based on the animals, because each animal has different feed needs. Mm-hmm. For poultry, it's different for pigs and for cows.
Of course.
But also, when it comes to larger animals, we feed based on the body weight of the animal. So it's a consultancy that we always give farmers on feed formulations. But an average cow, let's take 400 kilos, it's fed on 10% of the body weight, which is 40 kilos. So 70% of the 40 kilos has to be dry matter, which is maize or other residues, and that is around 30 kilos. Then 10 kilos will be protein supplements. So an average of 40 kilos to a cow that has 400 kilos is the best. And for pigs, maybe around 3 kilos to 5 kilos on an adult pig. The boars, the sows, the piglet can take up to 2 or 1.5 kilos. For poultry, it's grams, but also we advise farmers on the mode of the poultry keeping. For the exotic breeds are different from traditional breeds or hybrids. So averagely, farmers are supplied based on the body weight of the type of the animals.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Sure.
And so let's get into the team behind UKC.
Yeah.
How did you know them before starting?
I want to say that we had very good engagement back in campus, and some of our friends were able to identify them back in campus when we were doing our final year. So what we did is harmonize our skills and our ideas, and then after campus, when we formed the cooperative and legally registering it, we incorporated those youth who are graduating, and we are creating jobs for them. So they came in. It's a new technology. We learned as we went ahead, as we were going by. And then we have animal scientists, we have a crop scientist, we have a veterinarian, we have a global challenges scholar, we have IT, and we also have finance, those who did accountancy. So these skills actually were harmonized back from the campus, and people are learning, so they were very speedy in learning. And we are also getting some courses online to study and improve our skills. We are getting into some workshops by our developmental partners and the government. So we keep our team. And it was a simple way of recruitment. But as we are scaling also our production, we do some open calls. But these calls are not very open to our social media. We just share through our WhatsApp groups because we want to make it simple and not much of protocol. Then we conduct our interviews through SOPs. We have standard operating procedures within our institution. And we just lay out the framework of the recruitment based on the skills and competencies.
Wow. And how many people do you employ?
Currently, we are employing 6 full-time members and 5 casual laborers. But there are others 6 who are seasonal.
Okay. That's
yes.
Brilliant. And I guess with a lot of this potential growth in the future, you'll be employing quite a few more people.
Yeah, definitely we are employing more people, and we look forward into even giving opportunities to those who have not yet got jobs. We give them some 3 months internships as we model them. Then when they come to a good level, when we need them, we also take them. That
seems to be something you're really excited about. Is that something that really pushes you? You want to create jobs in your local community.
Yeah, sure. We really want to create jobs for our young people. We want to make the youth love agriculture because they used to think that agriculture is a dirty job for the old. That agriculture is becoming attractive with the use of smart technologies, and the job is very decent. These are blue jobs that we have been looking, and we are now transferring these jobs into the rural areas where we have been running from, and make the rural areas become the next paradise of agriculture. We want them to get more resources and money and develop themselves from the rural community. So let them come and feed the urban cities and ensure that there is no malnutrition in the rural community.
Amazing. Are you from a rural area yourself?
Yes, I am from a rural area. That's why I have the passion in working from the rural area, because I know the potential of the rural community. There is a lot of things to change, the mindset change. There is a lot of trainings and consultants that we need to give them. These are the populations that find difficulties accessing to technologies. So because of the accessibility of land, which is a good asset for production, we can be able to tap in and create more opportunities for them too.
I love that. I love that. You've really you've tapped into something that you love, and you're spreading that enjoyment just around all the young people that you can. And that's something that I really love, and one of the reasons I love just speaking to entrepreneurs like yourself on this podcast. And
how about you? Are you which part of the community do you love? Is it rural or urban?
See, I'm a rural boy. I grew up in the countryside, so I love the countryside. The city is where the jobs and the money is, but in my heart, it's the countryside.
Wow, marvelous! We're on the same phase.
Yeah. We go to the city for the opportunity, but the country is always calling us back.
Very true indeed.
Yeah.
That's the reality. I'm happy to hear that, Saran.
Pardon?
I'm so happy to hear about that.
Yeah, and I really love the countryside in Rwanda. I spent time in the northern district in the northern sector in the Manazi district. And, yeah. It's really beautiful up there.
Wow.
Incredible place.
Please, we look forward to see you again, and I'll take you to those very remote areas.
Definitely, bro. We'll set a time for that. I'll be there soon.
Yeah, sure.
I need some more of those tiny bananas and the passion fruit. That's some of the best tasting stuff I've ever had. Is incredible.
Sure.
And just on Norskin, how has your experience been with them? How did you get involved? And how do you see it developing in the future?
Wow. I want to say that it's our first time experience getting into an environment that is full of entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smart business minds in this Norskin, I'm telling you. This is where I am now. So I'm happy that Bestseller Foundation, which is hosting the Circular Economy Hub in Norskin, gave us a working space. And this is because of our circular economy enterprise, whereby we know how to manage the resources and recycle and reuse, and there's not any wastage. We have been able to be linked to different workshops and seminars, and we learn a lot about business dynamics. We also have exchanges with some of our colleague entrepreneurs, and there's a lot to learn from the business ecosystem they have in Norskin. Secondly, is about the existing opportunities in Norskin. We have a lot of funders, we have tech experts, and so forth and so forth. So Norskin is full of business opportunities, especially for the young people, because the environment itself makes you grow. And lately, we have been seeing a lot of increase in the entrepreneurs who take and occupy working spaces here. There's improved infrastructure, which is accommodating more entrepreneurs. And finally, I'm coming to see in the next 1-2 years, Norskin is going to be the leading maybe business hub in East Africa, if I can say, from Kigali, right here from Kigali, because Kigali is full of vibrant youth who want always to optimize an existing opportunity. And there's a lot of transition in their minds about business. We used to see that business is a way of sitting there and be given what to work with. But now we have learned of looking for more, and learning from others, and sharing also your experience to others. So it's an open environment. Norskin is accessible, has good access to internet. We are able to have any meetings online, even teleconferences without any problem. It is secure, and you have a lot of trust that it's becoming a good catalyst for business growth in Kigali and in Rwanda as a region.
Yeah, and I've seen that there's business coaching from people from all over the world as well. So you're getting a lot of just international influences.
Yes.
Can you tell us about where a lot of the people are from that are giving you advice?
Yes. The ecosystem itself has a lot of youth from the urban, and I've realized that there's some new innovation that they're developing in terms of recycling, agriculture, technologies in IT, engineering, website development, designs. These are people from the cities. We also have the youth from the rural who come and occupy like 3 days in a week, like us. We have 3-4 days in a week in our working space. And it encompasses even those ones who are far from Kigali and they're able to come. We also have other people from the academia who also have some space workshops and seminars here at Norsken. They also come and do some assignments in terms of the entrepreneur journey from Norsken. We also have other people who come from the region, the East Africa. Recently, we have the Health Hub competition, which was done at Norvatis blog. And we saw people coming from East Africa, from the rest of the global arena. We also, recently you also saw the IMF Director General who came to Norsken.
Wow.
Yes, and she visited different projects from startup hubs in Norsken. That shows that Norsken has the vibrancy and the resources and skills that are able to showcase the rest of the world and show the potential that if they are tapped, then they are going to give back to the community.
Yeah, that is exactly the energy that I got when I was in Kigali. I didn't go into Norsken, but I was in the Westerwelle incubator and accelerator.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Irene, and just seeing everyone working away at their projects, and the international influences as well. It really felt like there was something real developing here. And I guess more on what you said, Rwanda is in a very interesting position. It's very developed in Africa. And then you've also got Kenya and Nairobi right there, which is a tech hub in Africa. So you have all of this influence, and it's really turned into something that I think could be very influential in Africa and potentially the world.
Sure, right? Sure.
Yeah. That's that's brilliant. And what do you see as, when you look into the future? What right now do you envision for UKC?
We are looking at UKC as among the 5 best animal feed producers in the country, Rwanda, and especially with the good supplies of organic feeds, which are very good for climate resiliency, but also it does not compromise on the quality and the safety of the animal feed. We are looking UKC into an agro-processing plant because we want to make sure that our products go even beyond our region, our country, in even an external market for exports. We are also looking forward into formulating every feed for each animal, as long as it's called a domestic animal, from cats to dogs to cows to poultry to fishes to rabbits and so forth. We are looking at UKC as a technology that is going to attract the youth, especially in the rural community, and understand the potential of the technology on their economic and social growth. So we want to make Rwanda become a very good steward in technologies in the agriculture sector, starting right away from the UKC.
Wow. Wow. So you're going after the household pet market as well, and then you're going to just solidify and grow your position in the agricultural market.
Yes.
These ideas are brilliant, and I have no doubt that you and your team are the people to chase after this. and use the hydroponics technology to all the potential it can be used to in Rwanda, in Africa. I don't see any reason why you couldn't spread to neighboring countries or other regions of Africa. And potentially, you said you're thinking about franchising, why you couldn't even go further if you wanted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is very exciting. And I will definitely be following your growth. I hope other people will. I will encourage other people to follow your growth. Yeah, it's so exciting. And just on final notes, we end every podcast with this. Are there any other founders or startups that you think are doing really great work that you want to highlight?
Yes. I'm honored because there are young people in Rwanda who are also improving their ways of life. And in fact, I want to mention Youth Engagement in Agriculture Network. It's called YEAN. It's YEAN.
Okay.
These are young people also who are doing horticulture, hydroponics horticulture, producing of vegetables and fruits for sale. I'm also recommending Carl Group, CARL. This is also young people who are producing bread and biscuits from sweet potatoes.
Okay. Do they taste good?
Yeah, they so tasty one. So very tasty. Yeah. I also want to recommend Farmgenics. These are...
Yeah.
She did very well, and she's in aquaculture. And we're really proud of what she's doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's brilliant. I will be reaching out to them, and I will get back to Irene at Farmgenics and say that you suggested her again, because she is now the most popular interview guest that we've ever had. We'll see if she gets mentioned again. Other than me, I will obviously mention her again.
Sure, that's true.
And I will reach out to Jan and Carl Group.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining us, Jackson. You have been great. You've given us great insight into what hydroponics can be used for, how you are using it in your specific market, and your dreams and visions for UKC, Rwanda, and Africa going forward into the future. So thank you so much, Jackson. And we will talk again. We will talk again. I'm just going to stop the recording now.
Thank you so much. So much, Jan.